So today we are going to explain the remaining part of this story. But what puzzled Zini was how the ember came to be on the seashore, and most of all, how the bees and mosses came to be inside of it. So when Ginny looks on the ember beads, she always thinks how these little creatures, how these little things embedded in the lump of these ember. So she, thinking the same thing, she continued gazing over it for the hours. Should you should you like to know? Now Zini wants to ask if you are also curious for the same. If you would, that is one of the mother nature's stories, and she will gladly tell it. Here, what she answers to our questions. So here, Zini is telling if we have any kind of query regarding the nature, nature itself answers. When we spend time among nature and we arise any question, so somewhere we got clues of it, and nature tells the answer of our queries. Same way here, Genie has put the same question to the Mother Nature, and Mother Nature has given her the story behind it, how the little creatures came embedded in the beads. So, what is the story? Let us hear it from. I remember a time long, long before you were born, long even before any men were living upon the earth. Then these Scotch Highlands, as you call them, where little Jeannie lives, were covered with forest. There were oaks, poplars, beeches, and pines, and among them one kind of pine, tall and stately, from which a shining yellow gum flowed, just as you have seen little drops of sticky gum exude from our own pine trees. So here the Mother Nature is telling how ember beads are created. It was created years ago, ages ago, when the highlands were actually not the highlands. These were the plains. As you know, if you have studied in a social science, that ages ago there was a change. There was the shaking on the earth, and that at that time that shake caused highlands into the lowlands, and lowlands converted into the highlands. There was lot of changes came in our earth and landscapes. So same way, when amber was found in that time, they was formed in that time. So Jeannie is telling when there was no highlands, the highlands were actually the plains at that time, and there were many kinds of trees which were tall and stately. Stately means straightforward, bilkul seedhe. And in the pine tree there is a kind of substance that all used to come out. Pine tree से एक substance आता रहता है बाहर. It is a type of gum. ये gum के type से होता है. This beautiful yellow gum was fragrant, and as the thousands of little insects fluttered about it in the warm sunshine, they were attracted by its pleasant odor, perhaps too by its taste, and once alighted upon it, they stuck fast and could not get away. So in these lines, the author, the storyteller, Jeannie is telling how these little creatures, insects, are getting inside, embedded in these lumps. So as we have already seen, whenever we have something fragrant, something smelly things, small flies used to come near about them. So when once they come to, if the thing is sticky one also, so as soon as the flies came near to it, it gets stuck to in it. So same way, the pine tree's gum was also the sticky one, and it was also fragrant. So whenever it might happen, when they have these drops have come out, the small flies might get attracted to it and stuck on it, and drop over drop, drop over drop, the thing, the lump created, and the small flies get stuck embedded into it. So let's know what is told ahead. While the great yellow drops oozing out surrounded and at last covered them entirely. So, too, Wind blown its of moss, leaves, acorns, cones, and little sticks were soon securely embedded in the fast flowing gum. And as time went by, it hardened and hardened more and more. And this is ember. So here Jane is telling how ember is created, how ember is naturally formed. As I have already told, that on these sticky drops, these small creatures or some objects through wind, blowing wind, stuck to these gum, and soon as the gum keep flowing out of the trees, there becomes a lump of gum embedded with the small flies inside it. And with the as the time pass, this lump of the gum becomes hardened and hardened. If with the passage of time, this lump become more hardened, as hardened as a glass, and at last it becomes as an ember. That is well told, Mother Nature, but it does not explain how Kenneth's lamp of ember came to be on the seashore. So this was the story behind how ember is formed by nature. But now Jeannie is also curious how Kenneth, her old grandfather, has found it. So there is another story she's telling here. Wait, then for the second part of the story. Now, the second part of this story is how Kenneth found this lump on the seashore. So, did you ever hear that in those very old times, the land sometimes sank down into the sea, even so deep that the water covered the very mountain tops, and then after ages, it was slowly lifted up again to sink indeed, perhaps yet again and again. As I have already told you that you might have learned in the social studies or somewhere else that ages ago there were lot of shaking on the earth, and due to this shaking, various landscapes turned into another one. So same way Jeannie is telling here, did you hear that in those very old times the land sometimes sank down, means the highlands sank down in the water, there was a shaking, and due to the shaking, mountains, even mountain tops, the height of mountain tops were sank down in this deep sea water. And then again shaking occurred, and then again these mountains come outside in the form of mountains again. So this kept happening again and again. In this way we have found the landscape what we have today. You can hardly believe it. Yet I myself was there to see, and I remember well when the great forest of the north of Scotland, the oaks, the poplars, and the amber pines were lowered deep sea, into the deep sea. They are lying at the bottom of the ocean, the wood and the gum hardened like a stone, and only the great storms can disturb them as they lie half buried in the sand. It was one of those great storms that brought Kenneth's lump of ember to land. So here Jeannie is telling that you might not believe her, but it is true because she has herself seen how the north of Scotland, the forest of the north of Scotland once went down in the deep sea, and when they come up again, their things, their objects that becomes that formed something else in the new form. They came out through the storms only, these heavy storms, and these things are buried down in the land, half buried, that could not be taken out by the human force. It can be taken out only by the natural forces like the storm, wind storm, water storm, sea storm, or anything else. So same way might be Kenneth's lump of amber has come out of the land due to the some storm. If we could only walk on the bottom of the sea, what treasures we might find. So now Zini is thinking, if that much treasure is lying under the sea, it may be possible if we could go there, we can have a lot of treasure, a lot of precious things from there. But we can't go there. Only the storms, only the natural forces can bring it out. So this was the story of the Genie's amber weeds. This is written by Jane Andrews. Let us know about the Jane Andrews. Jane Andrews was born in 1833 and she was died in 1887. She was an American author and an educator. She is a writer of popular children's book. Her first book was Seven Little Sisters Who Live on the Round Ball That Floats in the Air. This was the title of the story anthology, a collection of stories about seven young girls who live in different unusual places. This story is an extract from the stories Mother Nature told her children. So these were the two main story collection of Jane Andrews, and this story is one of the part of these stories you have read it about. So now you must have understood how the ember beads came into the existence, how it is formed, and how these are found on the earth.